So before we get started, check out the following links in the description box below as highlighted in the image shown. So you'll be able to get our past papers, our link to our official website, link to accreditations, our link to donation page, and contact details in the description. So once you'll be watching a certain video of any lesson or of any past paper, you'll be able to get all these links, and you can be able to get to download past papers, to reach to our official website. You'll be able to see links to our accreditations so that you can see which authorities have accredited us. You'll be able to reach to our donation page as well as our contact details.
Hello and welcome. I'm going to take you through ATD Level 3 past paper. The paper is Principles of Economics, and it was done in December 2023. The students were provided with 7 questions and were supposed to answer any 5, but we are going to tackle all of them here. So let's go to question number 1 and begin with part A, which reads, list 6 factors that determine the efficiency of labor as a factor of production. So we are first going to define what factors of production are, and these are the inputs that are used in the production process. Or in producing commodities. The inputs are what we call the factors of production, and they include, there are 4 in economics. They are labor, land, capital, and entrepreneurship. But the examiner requires us to tell him the efficiency of labor. So I had already prepared the answers, and let's directly read them through. So here are the factors that determine the efficiency of labor. And what is labor? So labor refers to the human efforts, both mental or physical, used in the production of goods and services. That is what labor is. We use the human efforts. That is what labor entails. We don't use machines, we use labor. So let's read through the factors. And factor 1 is education and skills. Education, this is the knowledge you acquire in school. Knowledge acquired formally. And the skills are the knowledge acquired. The knowledge acquired are the skills. And it reads, increased education and specialized training boost employee productivity. So if you're well educated, you're likely to produce more, unlike when you're educated. Experience is our factor number 2. And it says, because they are more familiar with the procedures and potential challenges. So this is observation and direct participation. When you observe directly and you participate, participation. When you observe and participate directly, then you're likely to get experience. And because of that, you will be familiar with the procedures and the potential challenges experienced. So as a worker, you are likely to finish tasks faster and more efficiently, unlike when you are unexperienced. Another factor number 3, is health and well-being. Employees that are in good health, and here health also includes both mental and physical, or social also. It doesn't mean you are sick or what. Social well-being, how well you can interact with others, is also health and well-being. So employees that are in good health usually produce more. And then another factor number 4 is technology and tools. We talk about modern technology here. If you embrace modern technology, you are likely to produce more, unlike those that are using manual technology. So productivity is better with modern technology. And then the work environment is another factor, and let me read it through. More productivity is associated with the work atmosphere that is safe, welcoming, and organized. So if the work environment is safe, welcoming, then you're likely to produce more. Another factor, or factor number 6, that determine labor as a factor of production is motivation and incentives. And here talk about salaries or bonuses. If you are being paid a higher salary, you are likely to produce more, unlike those that are paid change. Let me read it through. Workers who are more motivated and incentivized are more likely to put in their best effort. That is the explanation that we have there. And then management and supervision is another factor. Effective management and supervision can improve labor efficiency by ensuring that workers are clear about their roles, responsibilities, and goals. Factor number 8 is economic conditions. The broader economic environment include factors like inflation and employment rates, and economic stability can impact labor efficiency. For example, a thriving economy may offer better job opportunities and incentives. And then there's workplace culture as a factor, and labor laws and regulations. That is part A. Part B, we are required to distinguish between deductive and inductive method of economic analysis. So we can get about everything about this in our answers. Can learn more about the deductive and the economic analysis. Deductive and inductive. Here are the answers, and we prepared the differences in a table. And our first difference is on the definition. It says deductive method starts with the general principles or theories and applies them to specific cases. So it starts with general principles. First, general principles, then applies them to specific cases. Whereas the inductive method starts with, so this inductive method starts with specific objectives or data and then generalizes them to form theories or principles. That is our first difference in the definition. Our second difference is on the approach, and the approach of the deductive is top-down, which is it begins with broad concepts like we have said from the definition, general principles, and then applying them to specific cases. That is narrowing down. And on the approach of the inductive is first begins with specific cases and broadens generalization. So this is bottom up and this is top down. Another difference between the inductive and the deductive is in the process. And the deductive, we first formulate general assumptions or hypotheses. After we have formulated, we apply the assumptions to specific cases and we finally draw conclusions. Whereas in the process of the inductive, we collect specific observations first, then you identify patterns or irregularities, and then after that you develop general theories or principles based on the observations that you have made. So an example of the deductive is using the supply and demand to analyze the effect of price changes. Whereas an example of the inductive is we observe an increase in consumer spending, and it is not for a short term, it is over several years, and then you make a general conclusion about what you have observed. And then another difference is on the strengths. So the deductive method provides a clear and logical consistent framework, and it also is useful for testing and applying established theories, whereas the inductive provides insight based on real-world data and is also useful for developing new theories. Another difference is on the limitations, and the deductive may not account for real-world complexities. That's the first limitation. And the second limitation of the deductive is it is dependent on the validity of initial assumptions. So it depends on assumptions. Whereas the limitations of the inductive is it may lead to overgeneralization or inaccurate conclusions if observations are not representative. And another limitation is it requires extensive data collection and analysis. And then their use in economics, we use the deductive in formal economic modeling and theoretical analysis, and we use the inductive in empirical research and data-driven studies. So those are the differences between the deductive and inductive methods of economic analysis. There, we have listed them in a table. And let's move to part C, which requires us to explain 5 objectives of demonetization of currency. And we are directly going to read through the answers. Let's first define what demonetization is. And we say demonetization of a currency refers to the process of withdrawing the legal tender status of a currency note or coin, meaning that it is no longer accepted as a valid form of payment. And here are the objectives. So the demonetization was like what Kenya did with its Kenyan shilling, 1,000 shilling note in 2019. It demonetized the 1,000 shilling note. And why was the reason? Maybe it did that to combat black money, that is, reduce circulation of the black money in the economy. Black money is legal money. So maybe Kenya did that to reduce the circulation of illegal money or to reduce corruption. How? So how how does demonetization reduce corruption? And it reduces corruption by making it harder for corrupt officials and individuals to transact large amounts of illicit money. Yeah, this is how it reduces corruption, demonetization that is. And then encouraging digital transaction is another objective of demonetization. Objective number 4 that we have is to disrupt counterfeit currency, that is fake currency. Maybe there was a lot of fake currency in circulation in the Kenyan economy, and that's why the government decided to demonetize its 1,000 note Kenyan shilling. Or maybe it was due to point number 5, that is improving tax compliance. Maybe the Kenyans were not compliant with taxes, they were not paying taxes, they were evading taxes. And that's why the government decided to demonetize its money. Or maybe it was to promote financial inclusion, that is encouraging people to use banking services, because banking penetration is low. Many people were not using banks, so they decided to demonetize their cash or their 1,000 notes shilling. And our last objective that we have here is economic and monetary policy. So that is the end of my video for now. We have tackled question 1, parts A, B, and C. So let's meet in our next video where we will be tackling question number 2. Thank you.
So if you like this video, you can always enroll with us. You'll be able to access more of these revision sessions, and also you'll be able to find well done lectures or pre-recorded videos for all the KASNEB courses as well as CHRP. And in case of anything, you can always reach us out. We have our contact details on the screen. Feel free to call, feel free to WhatsApp anytime. So thank you, and let's meet in our next session.